McCallum. So the NSA collects a massive amount of data called metadata on millions of Americans, and then they cull through it and look for any terror connections. But now a U.S. District Court, the judge is Richard Leon, he's a Bush appointee, saying that that likely violates the Fourth Amendment and calls it, quote, Orwellian, and says that our founding fathers would be horrified.
Peter Ducey, live coverage now from Washington. What's the reaction from the people who brought this case, Peter?
Bill, the plaintiff, Larry Klayman, is happy, but he says basically that it's not enough. He brought this case because he was upset about metadata from 2 Verizon accounts being collected. One belongs to him, one belongs to a client. And he says now he wants to file a class action suit to include the accounts of all Americans.
What we have here is the biggest violation of constitutional rights in American history. It was Richard Nixon who broke into a Watergate office complex, one building, who had to resign from office. We have a president, President Obama, and his enablers on Capitol Hill, Democrat and Republican, who've broken into nearly 300 million homes. This is the worst violation of law that we've ever seen.
The judge in this case, Richard Leon, is an appointee of George W. Bush, and he shredded the government's case in a 68-page long ruling that included this quote: "To draw an analogy, if the NSA's program operates the way the government suggests it does, then omitting Verizon Wireless, AT&T, and Sprint from the collection would be like omitting John, Paul, and George from a historical analysis of the Beatles. A Ringo-only database doesn't make any sense." Wow. Judge Leon has stayed his ruling, basically put it on hold, so the government now has a chance to appeal it.
All right, we wait on the appeal. What's the government saying about the ruling, Peter?
Bill, they're responding to this one decision by this one judge by pointing to 35 other decisions by 15 different judges in FISA courts who have said these programs are okay. The official word from the Justice Department is this: "We've seen the opinion and are studying it. We believe the program is constitutional, as previous judges have found. We have no further comment at this time." And we also have heard now from Edward Snowden, the NSA leaker. He says those previous secret court rulings no longer matter because once this data collection program was brought out into open court, it was found to violate Americans' rights.
Wow, Peter, thanks. A lot more on this now. Peter Ducey leads our coverage in Washington.